Today we're going to be talking about a subject that actually can be quite difficult to talk about, and that's going to be divorce and a real estate transaction. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and ring that little bell so you know when the next video is coming up. And of course, if you're on Instagram, go ahead and touch that heart right there and tell me that you liked the video. I appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like to add to the video, any advice you have for other people who have gone through a similar time in their lives. One of the most important things you must do during this period of time that is full of emotion, full of anger, full of sadness, is to manifest order during this period. Divorce is confusing because there's so much going on in your thoughts and in your heart, and a lot of decisions are made impulsively and out of anger. Sometimes just out of sadness, you want to end it, you want to move on, and I understand that. One thing that's important is to be able to make decisions that are best in the long run, not right now. Right now is end the frustration, end the pain. But in the long run, making that decision could mean you miss out on $100,000 because you just wanted to sell your house really fast. It's really important to have a ability to make a decision that is not based on emotion, and communication is going to be the key, and we know that communication is difficult in these times. It is important to understand that you need a list with confidence. And that means you create a plan from when you've decided to split, to liquidate your assets and sell your home, and then move forward. So when you've decided on this transition, it's important to know where you're going. It's important to know that you're going to be renting or you're going to buy another home. A lot of folks, they just want it over with, and then they're scrambling. They move in with their parents, they do something that maybe isn't necessarily the best step in that time in their lives. So it's really important to just have a conversation with yourself, with your loved ones, and of course with your realtor to find out what the next best thing is for you. If you've got equity in the home and you've got enough for a down payment on your own place, whether it's a condo or another single family home, it's important to know where you're going. So another step in that is to have impartial communication, because there's going to be decisions both parties, and perhaps both parties don't want to speak to each other. Perhaps one party is really hurt and the other one's ready to just move on. And it is important to be able to direct the communication through a filter, and a real estate agent is a perfect filter for that communication about selling the property, because it is a business transaction to the realtor. Now, of course, we recognize you as people and you're going through a hard time, but our jobs, our fiduciary duty is to get you top dollar for your home. And so all that emotional noise that you're feeling, you're going through, is going to be less effective on changing the decisions of a realtor. And so it's going to be important to entrust the realtor with a lot of decisions if you are unable to separate yourself from the distractions of the moment. So having a communication partner like a realtor is going to be very important, because one party may just want to sell the home, the other party may want to negotiate. You may have to agree to disagree whether or not you're going to paint the garage or sell some furniture, something like that. Being able to call your realtor and have a conversation that is not emotionally attached to anything in the property is going to be important. Hopefully you have a network of people you can rely on, that you can speak to, that will be able to give you good advice. Your realtor could very well be part of that circle when it comes to the transaction. It's important to treat the sale of your property like a business transaction. And that's going to be really hard. This is the home possibly that you moved into right after you got married. It's the home that you've raised your kids in. You've got a garden in the back. You rebuilt a car in your garage, and you're just emotionally attached to the place. The important thing is you've made a decision to transition into another life, If you've made the decision to sell it, that asset needs to be sold, and so it needs to be treated like a business transaction for you to get top dollar, and not the emotional whirlwind that it really is. So a good, competent realtor is going to be important in making those decisions. I hope this has been helpful. Going through divorce is a struggle. It is a difficult time for most people. It's not always amicable. Most of the time it actually isn't. But there are times when you are able to sit down and make a proper decision, and having a communication partner that's not emotionally attached to this transition is going to be very important in this time in your life.